Hey, you guys, how's it going today? Okay, as you can see from the backdrop, I'm at my store today, but I'm going to bring you guys some good news, okay? So, for those who've just arrived in Ghana, or for those who have lived in Ghana for a while and would like to move to a new apartment, good news, good news. Because I know those who have been looking for an apartment, a lot of times they can't move because they just can't afford it. They can't afford what they need to come up with up front. Now, I don't know about those who lived in other places around the United States, but I do know for those who lived in New Jersey or who live in New Jersey, we had to come up with the equivalent of 3 months' rent. We had to have the security deposit, we had to have the first month's rent, and then we had to, if we used a realtor to help us find an apartment, then we had to pay them an amount equivalent to the first month's rent. So if the rent was $2,000 or is $2,000, then you'd have to come up with $6,000 up front before moving in. Now, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people don't have uh, $6,000 laying around for rent. So, if you think that's bad, it's even worse in Ghana. In Ghana, you actually have to come up with 1 year in advance. At least it could be 1 to 3 years. I know for myself, my husband and I had to come up with we had to pay 2 years in advance. And actually, it turned out to be a good thing because rent has been steadily on the increase. So if we rent it today, our rent would probably be 20% more than what we rented it a year ago. So we have a year left on our lease. So I'm glad for that. Before we were complaining. But anyway, I digress. The point of it is you have to have that much money up front. Now, according to the Rent Act in Ghana, it says that landlords are only supposed to charge you up to 6 months rent in advance before getting into an apartment. Yeah. So the only requirement you'll need is to be over 18, and I'm reading from what it says here. You'll need to be over 18, you'll need to possess a current national ID card and have income that can be verified. And if you meet those requirements, you are eligible for a loan under the program within 5 to 10 days. And the applicant pays the total rent to the potential landlord and then contributes each month to the National Rental Assistance Scheme, and applicants are expected to be evicted from the house or room if they default on the monthly arrangements. And it goes on to say that this is designed to make rental accommodation more accessible, affordable, and convenient by taking away the unfair burden faced by lower income households and youth across the country of multi year rent advance payments demanded by landlords. The scheme will target individuals in the let's see, ouch. The scheme will target individuals in the formal and informal sectors with identifiable and regular income. The rent advance loans will be paid directly into the landlord's bank accounts, who would also have to register with the scheme. And the initial rollout with the seed funding of 30 million Ghana cedis will take place in Greater Accra, Ashanti, Western, Eastern, Bono East, and Northern regions, where data from the Ghana Statistical Service shows renters have the greatest challenge with rental accommodations. Okay, so this really sounds like a win win situation, folks, because I have friends that have been looking for a place to rent, but the hardest thing they've had to come up with is that advance rent amount. And now this makes this possible. And Ghana is actually doing something that they should have been doing. I mean, what the taxpayers are paying them for, and that is making it easier for the population. Now, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but Ghana kind of lacks when it comes to enforcing programs. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how it goes because, yeah, they are lax when it comes to enforcing programs that are supposed to help the people. And somehow the funds allocated for certain programs, they kind of meander their way out of the intended purpose and kind of finds its way in officials' pockets. But let's hope for the best here. And actually, they do say they have something set up to prevent what was just talking about, and the funds not going to the place where it's intended to go. It says the scheme, according to Dr. Bawumia, which is the vice president, is in collaboration with private investors who wouldn't want their investments to go down the drain and will use any means possible to recover their funds, which will also avoid any kind of political interference, in contrast to earlier programs that were frequently tarnished by defaulters. Hmm, sounds like they have put guardrails in place in order to prevent those meandering funds. He also revealed that a draft to replace the present rent law, which was approved 50 years ago and is no longer relevant, has been submitted to Parliament by the Ministry of Works and Housing. And the vice president went on to emphasize that passing the rent law would improve Ghana's rental sector and provide access to decent housing. So, again, this is definitely good news all the way around. Good job, Ghana. Now, let's see if this actually works out as designed. So, I want to thank you guys for watching today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Still trying to reach that goal. You guys, please help me make it possible, okay? And I want you guys to have a good day.